There you are.
Okay, here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages, and I'm Nick.
I'm JoJo. I'm Levi.
And Levi's still adjusting the camera because
I'm being
his OCD's kicking in. So this is a new episode of Pints and Pages, and we kind of just already started bullshitting, so we decided to kick on the camera so that we didn't bullshit without the camera being on. There are some subjects we want to talk about tonight or today. I briefly
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. Briefly cover the fact that OVW Wrestling, and I still don't have the lineup, but it will be in the Bonus Pints parking lot on Saturday, June 1st at 7 p.m. Admission's free. Food truck will be open. Bonus Pints will be open. Savini Comic will have a booth. So I'm hoping the wrestlers have booths with their merch. Should be a really good time. Should be fun. We're going to use Brad as a chair. Yeah. Levi as a kendo stick.
Yes!
I'm going to be the Spanish announce table.
Yes! You're a white ass knowing no Spanish. The Spanish announcement table.
So anyway, but yeah, so that was one of the things just wanted to briefly cover and get out of the way. Something that we just started talking about was the new season of Fortnite that kicked off this week.
Yeah. Fallout.
More Fallout.
Yeah.
More Fallout. I still haven't watched the series.
So I haven't either, but
I've gone full deep dive. I've watched the full series twice. I've played 1, 2, 3, New Vegas, 4, and Tactics.
Yeah.
Because I bought them all.
I did download 76 on because it's free on Game Pass for the Xbox. The Fortnite, so the new Fortnite season on the Battle Pass is T61.
T60 armor.
T60 armor.
Yeah.
T60 armor is part of the Battle Pass.
So that'll be a skin.
So that's a skin.
I like big armor suits, so that's cool.
It's very Fallout Wasteland.
Like the maps, like Wasteland.
The fucking
Mad Max.
There's a big giant ship that crashes.
Furiosa.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a big giant ship that crashes in. Mr. Peabody is one of the other characters that'll be featured.
Okay.
You know how they have the team of dudes.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember all the other ones because some of them were obscure.
You and Dad know all of that lore. I just look at them and go, that's kind of cool.
I just watched the trailer. I really don't know much. I just kind of...
You did more than I have.
Yeah, and then the special skin for the season is a Wasteland Magneto.
And it's dope.
So he's all Magneto helmet, and he's like war torn, and he's got almost like a utility belt on.
I believe
Did we get any vault suits? The jumps?
No, but Vault Boy...
They haven't showed everything yet.
Vault Boy is a back bling, I think.
Oh, that's dope.
Like a hologram of Vault Boy is like a back bling, I think.
I wonder if or how they'll introduce, like if they'll put a Pit Boy on there somewhere.
Maybe. I think the special weapon is Magneto's powers, too.
Really?
Yeah, because he can move stuff.
He can make a shield and...
It's I played it a few times. It's fun.
Guns
it's fun.
On vehicles.
Yeah, the way that you upgrade vehicles now is that there's just a box and you run into it. And then it automatically... So they have...
So I don't have to throw tires and shit out.
Yeah, I will get on and get the damn pass. Can we please, just cruise in my vehicle all over the
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do that
so they got the big off-road tires. They've got armor tires where you can't... the tires can't be shot out. They have a gun turret where the passenger can actually just it's.
I fancy myself a driver. I'm just saying.
So
I do some wild shit.
You can get a machine gun turret, a grenade launcher turret.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, this is fucking dope.
Yeah, and it's fun because when you're player one, you can drive up on people and just I hit a button because I think I'm the only one that plays on.
I go back and forth.
Okay, so I can hit a button and jump over the passenger seat and just mow them down with the machine gun turret. and then hop back over the driver's seat and take off again.
There's a whole even without the turd. I just fucking whip a gun out.
There's a whole section of the map
Run them over.
that is like where you do ramp throughs and like heavy metal music's playing, like Metallica and Iron Maiden.
I'm telling you, this is
what we need to do tonight.
Fortnite was like, hey, how do we get Brad back? He skipped the last season. This isn't good. We thought because of his last name, Titus, he'd be interested in the fucking Greek gods.
So you're more interested in the Lego?
Yeah, I was like, fucking Legos, bros.
Yeah, they so that is the new season and the new battle pass. Like I said, it's fun. I played it. Haven't done great in it, but since it's new, a lot of people are landing, and like it's hard to get places. Like it's hard to figure out where you're supposed to go because the whole bottom half of the map was grayed out when I started.
How does Mad Max movies start? Homeboy's in the middle of fucking nothing. That's how you gotta land?
Yeah.
Middle of fucking nothing.
Yeah, so that's what this reminds me a lot of. Or you can take
the Fallout route and you gotta land right where a vault is.
Yeah.
Like one of the hot spots where, the safes are.
Yeah.
Land there and you gotta get in the vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too shabby at getting some of those vault things done by myself.
It's like 50-50 shot for me. Between the other players, or if I just don't come in prepared enough, I'll die. But about half the time I can get it and at least get down there. I'll probably die while I'm in there.
Yeah. I play solo mostly, so it's hard for teams when I'm like, I shot him, and then I'm like, oh fuck, he's got teammates up.
So I'll play solo, so like no.
Well, that's what I play. But if I like play with other people,
I see what you're saying.
It's a weakness of mine because I forget Don't focus on one guy. Like you can shoot at him, but don't forget.
I always run towards gunfire, and I always forget to tell people on my team that I'm running towards the gunfire. Okay. So by the time I get there and I'm shooting at them, even though it's a team, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm over here and I'm getting shot at," and they're like halfway across the map because I just wandered off on my own, and I'm like, I'm really bad about that.
Especially once we start drinking, you'll see. Like, we'll land somewhere, and then me and Dad, we won't even go with each other. We'll both split sideways and start engaging on 4-man teams by ourselves. And normally it's Tracy and Seth, like, guys, what are you doing? What? Stop, chill.
Yeah, and usually it's Seth who's just running around gathering stuff.
Our favorite one, he had 4 lightsabers and a porta-fort.
Yeah.
He got killed. We're like, Seth, switch off the lightsaber. Do something! Gets killed by a team, drops all of his shit, 4 lightsabers and a porta-fort. We're like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I figured I'd act like General Grievous this game.
Yeah, he was like trying to fight a team of 4 with lightsabers, and I'm like, dude, and he's like, that's all I got is lightsabers. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Yeah. So.
Just like in Magic. Loves to either fuck everyone up or just be a fucking idiot. Yeah, nuisance.
I just like driving. I don't know what it is about driving in games that have a different focal point other than driving. Like anytime there's a vehicle in a first-person shooter, I'm like, get me in. Or like, helicopters? Fuck yeah.
I would love you in Battlefield. Cause
dude.
I cannot stand other people driving.
I will shoot helicopters down on my own team if someone's in it and it's not me. I will blow that bitch up.
They haven't had helicopters for so long in Fortnite. I wish they'd bring them back.
I never played when they had planes.
Oh man, they had planes and helicopters when it was the Marvel season.
Yeah. See, I didn't play during the Marvel season.
And that was badass. It was fun to just sit on the side of the helicopter and just shoot at people.
No, it was an Xbox One game. I think they got it on PlayStation 2 or like some other consoles eventually. But I remember it was like a launch title, I think, for the Xbox, the very first one. And it was called Crimson Skies. And it was an airplane pirate fucking like combat game. And it was like ever since I played that, it's like I just always wanted to fly planes in fucking video games. Kind of in real life, but that was more about a necessity than desire.
I can get decent at flying planes in games, but I am not good by any means.
Oh.
I always get
That'd be some
backwards
stupid shit.
because it's always up goes down and down goes up, and
See,
I always get.
I'm
screwed
fine
up
with that. Mine is specifically, I'm thinking of Battlefield. I can aim decently to shoot at other jets or to try to shoot missiles down on the ground. It's trying to turn, and I end up while trying to fucking turn either nosediving or going straight up and stalling out or shit.
The other thing that they added were brute fists.
I saw that.
So these are like there's an uppercut and a punch.
It's like Vi's gauntlets.
Oh, I'm gonna have to run that like with the Peter Griffin skin.
So
I
you
never
can
got that.
Oh, we
Peter
got the
Griffin.
Black Crusader skins.
yeah.
too.
So
I got that one.
you can hit the button to do like the uppercut. Like and it jumps straight up, and then you can hit the punch button, and it'll
Launch them.
it'll launch you, so you can
It's exactly like Vi's gauntlets.
yeah.
Well, it's
So-
like that one thing, the rocket jump thing.
yeah. So it's an easy way to get around the map.
But yeah,
You can only use it
that's
every
fun,
once in
though.
a while, but yeah, it's
I wish they
fun.
would give a League of Legends like.
Oh, they've already done Arcane.
Have they?
They
I
did
didn't
it
know
during
that.
season 1. I missed it because you could get Jinx, Caitlyn, and Vi skins. But they were part of the Battle Pass, I believe, so they'll never bring them back.
I'd run fucking Kate skins.
They were not part of the battle pass.
I saw somewhere where they were. So
I-
if they weren't part of the Battle Pass, when season 2 drops, we might get them again.
Yeah, they did not. They were not part of the battle pass.
Can't remember where I heard or saw it, but I thought I saw that. Alright, I'm glad to hear that then. I want my fucking Jinx skin. It's fun fact, the actress that plays Lucy in the Fallout TV shows, the voice actor for Jinx in Arcane.
Oh,
Really?
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Huh.
She did fantastic.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Arcane.
She was fantastic in both shows.
I finally got a buddy of mine who really enjoys League of Legends to start watching Arcane, and he's like, "Why didn't I watch this sooner?" He was so
good.
turned off by fucking streaming.
I have not
series,
seen
TV
Arcane.
shows. Yeah,
It is really good.
he's not a movie watcher.
And-
He can watch movies.
You
Is it a
don't-
movie or a
It's
show?
a TV
It's
show.
a show.
They're pretty good amount of minutes in those
They're like
episodes.
50 to an hour.
Oh,
But
okay.
it is beautiful artwork.
It's animated.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you don't have to know anything about League of Legends. They explain
Yeah.
everything that's going on, everything that's
That's
pertinent
nice.
to the
Yeah.
story.
That's
Like
nice.
for someone like me, before they'd say someone's name, I'd see people. I'm like, oh, it's Caitlyn, it's Jace, it's this. Like I'd start being like, oh shit, what are we doing here?
Jaime, motherfucking
Jaime.
Jaime, dude.
Yeah,
He's my
Heisenberg.
dude, but I wish he was a little more insane. He's a little too put together. And
Yeah, he's not the
I
mad
think-
scientist.
I figured he was going to be a bit more crazy, but it's cool because he's still one of my favorites to play. Bring him to Wild Rift, please.
But yeah, you don't have to know anything about it to
That's always
to
nice.
watch the show and enjoy it.
Fallout's kind of the same way because I have started it. I just haven't finished it, but it's kind of the same way. You really don't need to know Fallout to watch the show.
I'm all right with that. Not playing, but I have been thinking about getting 4, maybe. I don't know.
4 is a
Getting,
good one for you, like, because it's
whatever one you can upgrade the fuck out of Codsworth.
Codsworth is only really in 4.
Okay, so yeah.
I mean, he's in,
my
like,
home dog Codsworth,
there's-
man.
There's other
He's like
Mr.
my favorite
Handies,
card.
but Codsworth himself is in 4.
Yeah, then I'd be playing 4 just because flavor.
Nice.
But it's also, I'd say, the best because the gunplay's pretty decent.
Okay.
A lot of the other games had bad issues where, like, if you're aiming down your sights, the gun will shoot like to the left of that, or like their aim wasn't good on the gun. The gunplay wasn't good.
Well, and 4 is 4 kind of described as one of the shittier ones.
It's bad for a Fallout game. It's not a bad game, but it's bad for Fallout.
So starting with that one's probably good because then if I play any of the others, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, this is so much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion, yes.
Oh,
Now,
so-
and that's not saying Fallout 4 is a bad game.
Yeah.
For a Fallout game, it didn't really feel like Fallout, first off. And second off, my biggest complaint, like Brett was talking about when we last had him on, they went a mile wide and an inch deep. So they added a bunch of shit, and there's a bunch of shit in the game. There's a bunch of little side quests. There's 3 to 4 different endings to your main story campaign, but they're all basically the same.
Right.
Choose this side, destroy the other ones. Choose this side, destroy the other ones.
Yeah.
That's about it. And the story's alright. I'm not spoiling anything, but it's not...
I'm not too worried about spoilers.
And it's also an old ass game, but the beginning of the game is right when the bombs are dropping. You go into a vault, you get cryogenically frozen. You wake up a couple years, or however many years later, raiders came in, kidnapped your son, shot your wife, who was in the pot across from you, your baby son, and then they refreeze you, and then you wake up what is essentially 200 years after the bombs have dropped, and you're trying to find your son, just to find out that your son is running the institute that is one of the main story. Whether they be your villain or who you team up with.
Right.
One of the main parts of the story.
Well, why'd they kill?
They kidnap the son because they create synths, which are synthetic humans.
But why'd they kill the wife and not him?
Because the wife wouldn't give up the baby. The baby was in her arms in the cryo chamber, and when they unthawed her, went to grab the baby, she fought back, and he just blew her fucking brains out.
Okay. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. They were 3 separate pods. Why kill the wife?
Yeah, I didn't explain that right. The wife and the baby were together.
Oh, okay.
And
that makes sense.
They kept you alive because of the fact... Shut up, JoJo. They wanted to create as realistic human robots as possible. Robots that are humans. And they needed pure DNA. Because if you know about anything with radiation destroys the DNA. So anyone that's been above ground outside of the vaults, their DNA isn't basically a pure human's DNA. It's been tampered with, altered because of all the radiation they've been through. Mutants and shit. So they needed him, or the son, because he was a baby, and they could raise him as their own, basically.
Oh, okay.
And make him become the leader, as he did. But they kept you alive as a backup in case something happened to him.
The movie I watched last night, and I know you haven't seen it, before I went to bed, was Argyle.
See, Alex wants to watch that, and we haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alright, watch it.
Henry Cavill and fucking
Bryce Dallas Howard.
BDH.
And
dirty.
It's very good. What I did not realize until it was over, and I Googled it, was that it is part of and I'm really not, I guess I'm spoiling it, but it's not spoiling the movie, because the movie is standalone. It is part of a broader Matthew Vaughn created Kingsman universe.
Yeah,
and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought so.
So there's the Kingsman's movies, which there's 4 now?
3.
There's the King's Man, which is the very first one,
right? But came out last.
Yeah, we just watched that one not too long ago,
I've seen that one.
And there's the other 2 Kingsmen.
There's the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one, but when I was looking it up last night, there's other ones,
yeah, with
too.
the Statesman.
Yeah.
And then if you watch the very first one, the President of the United States always keeps telling...
is that the ones that like peaches?
No, he keeps telling his... he keeps telling his butler, I need a statesman on the rocks, in individual scenes. And I think that's the code for... get one of the statesmen in my office. And so they refer to that in the first one during World War I. So I don't know how far back the statesmen go. But I think there was a little bit of crossover acknowledgement there.
So there's the Secret Service.
Those movies,
There's a Secret Service, this is what confused me. There's a Secret Service, which was the very first one. Golden Circle, which was the second one with Channing Tatum and the Statesman.
Yeah.
And then The King's Man, which was the prequel.
Yeah.
And then
Lord Voldemort,
there's...
I don't know what that actor's name is.
Ralph Fiennes.
Was he Voldemort?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then...
I love Harry Potter and I didn't know that.
And then there's Argyle, which is which I think they're trying to start a franchise. The movie was great. Twists and turns I did not see coming what came, and it was very good. But they're also doing, like, there's a movie called Blue Blood, and there's a movie called The Traitor King that they're trying to, like, get started because Matthew Vaughn wants to make this massive, huge, whole Kingsman universe.
Dude,
but I kind of like
The Statesman is a TV. He wants to do a TV show called The Statesman. So yeah.
As long as Pedro Pascal signs in, then I'm in.
So
because he was fantastic.
Oh, in which one?
The second.
The Golden Circle.
Yeah, he was part of the Statesman.
See, and I like how this is they've kind of just been trickling these out, and they're like, yeah, this is all in the same universe, but you don't gotta watch any of. Well, besides for the Kingsman, that.
Yeah, the
You
direct
really,
sequels.
you really don't need to watch any of them to just watch them.
Right, that's
You
what I
know
was
what I
getting
mean?
at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Argyle was a perfectly fine standalone movie, and then like you were like, oh, okay. At the end, you were like, oh, all right, well that makes sense. And then I Googled it, and I was like, okay, so it's part of this whole franchise that Matthew Vaughn's trying to do.
That's cool though.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna have to check that out because I love the Kingsman movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a kick out of them. I love British cinema.
my favorite part of
Or
the
at least British people.
my favorite part of the King's Man, the prequel,
Yeah.
was Rasputin.
Oh my god. Oh my
They had a
god.
Rasputin.
Yeah, like the Russian,
Yeah.
the real Gregory Rasputin.
Because it was over the top
Holy
ridiculous.
shit.
It was over the top ridiculous.
All I got now, I got Boney M playing in my head. Fucking Rasputin.
Well, Rasputin in real history is ridiculous.
It's
Insane. I was
it's
so
insane.
mad when fucking they popped dude in the,
yeah,
and one guy.
yeah,
One character is no longer a character.
yeah, yeah.
Spoilers.
I had watched, when you were talking about it
Yeah.
the other day, I was like, I think I've seen that. And then I realized when I was looking at the stuff yesterday, I was like, okay, I have seen that because the part of the section of the movie that stood out the most to me was Rasputin. That's the part of the movie that sticks
Oh
out
my
the
god, played by what's his name?
it was
Everybody knows the guy. He's a pretty famous character actor in lots of different things, I think.
yeah.
But it's not the one you think it is.
It's no, it's the guy that played the kicker in The Replacements.
Yes.
And he played Lovegood's dad in Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
yes!
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
He did.
Fucking
yeah.
Harry Potter cast coming through.
Yeah.
Such
It-
great roles.
he
all the
was
time.
he was Lizard in Spider-Man and the two Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and his name's like Ray's, but it's spelled like RHYS.
He's got a wild ass name.
But yeah, he plays Rasputin, and it's over the top.
Oh, that would be
ridiculous.
Bonds or something.
Yeah, it's like Ray's Ifs or something.
I'm gonna have to check that movie out though, because that sounds fucking hilarious.
His first role was in Notting Hill. But yeah, no, The King's Man is very good. Very good. But yeah, Argyle was good. It's got Henry Cavill.
Dude, his fucking flat top is That is a crazy haircut.
It does not fit him,
It's
and
like
I did not like it.
he unlocked a skin for the Street Fighter character.
Yeah. So he's in it, BDH, and then Samuel Jackson's in it. John Cena's in it.
Samuel Jackson's back to his original role. Like, is he the lispy guy?
No.
Got the hat? He's a whole new character.
No.
So
he's a whole new character.
He was a villain.
He's a whole new character. Bryan Cranston's in it.
Great.
And Catherine O'Hara is in it. The mom from Beetlejuice and the mom from
David.
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek.
From Schitt's Creek. The guy Sam, is it Sam Rockwell? No. The guy that plays It is a name. It is
Good
a
job,
name.
Brad.
It is a name. It is the guy that.
I'll be honest. I was looking shit up that I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's Sam Rockwell. It is the guy that played. He was one of the bad guys in one of the Iron Man movies.
Oh, Hamakavula from fucking Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
Haven't seen
Yeah.
that.
Fucking. He was in Green
He
Mile.
was the bad guy
He's been in so many.
He was the
things.
bad guy in Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
he was the bad guy
fantastic.
he was the bad guy in Iron Man 2.
Hammer Industries.
He was Hammer Industries. Yeah.
Dude, he is a fantastic actor. That guy is something else.
He was in that movie with George Clooney too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been in Galaxy. He was in Galaxy Quest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they fucking pour him in and he's just sitting there screaming.
Iron Man 2, Seven Psychopaths, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. That's the one I'm thinking of with, where he played the crazy guy, Chuck Barris, the crazy game show host, the created the Gong Show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know Helen.
Yeah, about all of these went over my head.
Chuck Barris was like a completely insane game show host that created the Gong Show, the dating game, the Newlywed Game.
Yeah.
He was a songwriter for the Ramones, and he was the first person to buy the Batmobile. That not for the one from here from Logansport, but he tried to buy like the original Batmobile from the thing, and then he claimed at the end of his life when he was dying that he was a spy. The whole entire time he was a spy. Like the U.S. government paid him to be a spy. Yeah, he was in the CIA, and that's what. And he was an international spy. That his front was a game show creator and producer. Like, I'm not kidding. And the movie is called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. He plays Chuck Barris, who believes that he is a spy, and George Clooney plays. And maybe George Clooney, I don't know if he's in it or he's directed it. But
That's
anyway.
wild.
But yeah, he claimed that he was in 1984, he wrote a biography, stated that he worked for the CIA as an assassin in the 60s and 70s in Southeast Asia, Latin America, and the Middle East.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He claimed that he killed 33 people. The CIA denied that he ever worked for him in any capacity.
What if they straight up were like,
and then in an interview, he admitted to having made up the story. No, I was never CIA hitman. I never did those things. I once applied for the CIA, and then I was going through the process. I got a job and went on television, but I always wondered what would have happened. In an interview in 2010 with the Television Academy Foundation, he was asked if he had ever disclosed the truth to anyone, including his wife, and he said, no, never. I'll really never truly say one way or the other.
He's like, nah,
So,
I'm joking.
He said, yeah.
JK.
He said, nope, I was an assassin. No, never mind, I wasn't. Oh, you're never going to know the truth. Which one was right and which one was wrong. So, yeah, no.
I'm a game show host. Would you like to play a game?
Yeah.
Oh, so they wrote the Jigsaw movie about him. He killed 33 people.
The weird guy that wore the bucket hat and hit the gong on the Gong Show claimed that he was a CIA assassin. Yeah, it's an interesting. I need to go back and rewatch that movie.
No, I need to watch this movie. That sounded retarded all up until you said the guy in the bucket hat hitting a gong.
Well, yeah, because he created and hosted the Gong Show.
I've never heard of the fucking Gong Show.
You've never heard of the Gong Show?
It's been many.
I can see where you've
years since I've seen it.
I can believe where you hadn't watched it, but I can't believe you've never heard of it. It's
what
where
is the fucking Gong Show?
They came out and they had them do like absurd shit, and when they sucked at it, you just walked over and hit a gong, and they had to stop what they were doing and leave.
It's like a fucking talent show kind of.
So it's a shitty America's Got Talent, X Factor.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. When let me read this just for you. So, any act that survived without being gonged was given a score by each of the 3 judges, 0 to 10. Max score 30. On the NBC series, the contestant who achieved the highest combined score won a prize, which was a check for $516.32.
So, was this
why that specific?
Because in Barris's words, that was the minimum pay for a day's work during that time by the Screen Actors Guild. So that's what he gave.
Yes.
And a Golden Gong trophy. In the show's opening monologue, Barris would describe the amount as 516 big ones and 32 little ones. The syndicated top prize was $712.05. Originally, the studio audience determined the winner by applause, but this was later changed because they had celebrity judges. On a few rare occasions, both winning acts would receive a check and a trophy. No prize was awarded. When Barris announced the final score, Little Person, Jerry Marin, a former munchkin, ran onto stage in a top hat and tails, threw confetti and white balloon. Throwing confetti and white balloons dropped from above the winners.
What the fuck is this
The Daily Gong Show also gave out the Worst Act of the Week award, later changed to the Most Outrageous Act of the Week, selected by producers and each week judges. The winner of this award was announced following the trophy presentation on the Friday show, and the performer received a check for $516.32 and a dirty tube sock.
What the fuck? Keep the tube sock.
And there, my friends, is the Gong Show.
Is that the 60s?
Yeah, I believe it's 70s.
Okay, so I didn't know if it was in the 60s or the 70s, because that one was a really early one.
76 to 78, it was on NBC.
So this was competing with Star Wars.
Yep.
What the fuck? I need a beer after listening to that shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If any judge considered an act to be particularly bad, they could force it to stop by striking a large gong.
Yeah.
Barris would then ask the judge in question why they had gonged the act, usually receiving a fictitious response. Celebrity judges include Jamie Farr, who is from MASH.
Yeah, I've seen MASH.
Phyllis Diller, Rick Taylor, Steve Garvey, who was a baseball player. They also had Chuck Woolery, David Letterman, Steve Martin, Sandy Duncan.
Who's the guy? Was one of the guys, the dude with the glasses who was in like every fucking game?
Charles Nelson Riley.
Dude, he was in all the game shows.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah,
He was in Match Game.
Yeah.
He was on Match Game and Hollywood Squares all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like...
Yeah, if you want to hear a fantastic song about Charles Nelson Riley, you should listen to Weird Al's Alapalooza. He's got a song on there called CNR. It's in the... it kind of sounds like Rage Against the Machine, but the whole entire song's about Charles Nelson Riley.
I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Levi needs to see a picture of him.
Yeah, I do. I'm just so confused why Weird Al made a song about him.
Because it's about, like, how Charles Nelson Riley is, like, a badass. The video is, like, him... the video is, like, him, like, wearing, like, looking like Rambo.
What?
It is. Yeah. It's not Rage Against the Machine. It's, the White Stripes.
Yeah, like, he always had some crazy-ass glasses on. Like, look at this guy.
What the fuck?
I mean, that was the fashion. Dude, to be honest, if I ever get prescribed glasses, I am going to look up pictures of him and try to find those frames. And I'm just I'll wear glasses like that.
Could you imagine if I tried to do that? My face really doesn't fit it, though.
No, you don't know until you try. You probably won't be able to wear a hat with most of those, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would have to.
It's alright, he was going, like he was thin on top, just grow it out, coming over.
Yeah, there you go. That would be spectacular.
Dude, so, off topic here, but we went ahead and watched the Tom Brady roast last night.
I've only seen
and everybody's been talking about little things that were funny, but somehow no one's told me that fucking Ron Burgundy was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody is...
I haven't fully watched it.
And then it happened, and I'm like, what? And then Ben Affleck, I'm like...
the Ben Affleck stuff was not funny, though. I didn't find any of the Ben Affleck stuff funny.
No, I didn't necessarily either.
Didn't Kim Kardashian go up there also?
Hers was a little funnier. You can tell she doesn't read off the prompter very well.
Yeah. Yeah, Ron Burgundy stuff was okay. The Ben Affleck stuff was terrible. Kim Kardashian was not up there very long. Not nearly as long as Ron Burgundy and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
The highlights of the show were definitely Nikki Glaser.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe was good.
Yeah.
And then I enjoyed Sam J. The little black girl.
Yes.
So
yes, but fucking Tony, she all hell no's on it.
I was dumbfounded by the fact he went up there and fucking was like, Tom Brady looks like a Confederate hag.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow. Yeah. He's like, come on, man, why do you look like a gay Tom Brady?
Yeah. When
I was just like, that came out of left field.
Yeah.
You can tell Tom thought he was ready, but I don't think
he was not ready.
So I saw a clip from an interview, and it was Nikki talking about it, and she said as soon as it ended, there's normally an after party where, the guy who's getting roasted is the spotlight of it all. It's their time to celebrate. He never showed up. He walked out from the set, basically, and Nikki said she ran into him in the hallway and was like, hey, you did great, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, thank you. I'll see you around sometime. And then just took off.
Yeah, they said he was not pleased with it. But there's been several people that have come out to say that they would love to do it. Like other sports celebrities. Like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley were like, oh, we let these guys do it all day long. So I think
Shaquille's been on a couple roasts.
Yeah, I think that there's some wiggle room. The one that I thought was fascinating that came out was The Undertaker. I'll bring it back to wrestling because I always do. The Undertaker came out and said that he would love to be a part of something like that. He would love to do it, and he thinks that the WWE should add something like that to their Hall of Fame weekend, like their WrestleMania weekend, where they do the Hall of Fame. He thinks they should add a roast to it too,
the guys that are
the guys that are getting into the Hall of Fame. So I thought that was a fantastic idea. So, but I think Tom Brady was not prepared, but I think that they definitely have people that.
I will be honest. They could have talked less about his ex-wife. That might have helped.
That might have helped a little,
but that was such low.
But it was so like front page news for so long. How do you not like acknowledge it? At least they did try. They did. I thought they did a pretty good job of staying away from his kids for the most part. They did bring him up a couple of times. But for the most part, they stayed away from his kids. But.
The one that threw me off, which I should have seen it coming, was all the Aaron Hernandez jokes.
Holy shit. Yeah, the Aaron Hernandez.
Whoever has been standing on the same stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from underneath himself.
Yeah, I was shocked by the Aaron Hernandez jokes, and they were so many of them. I was shocked at how many people, and he seemed to be a good sport about it, how many people took shots at Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to go quicker than your team dropped you. And then
his set was better than most of the other football players.
Yes. So. I thought his set was way better than like Randy Moss's, or you could tell that Gronk is just
dumb.
Yeah.
God bless him, because he's great entertainment.
Yeah. Bless his heart.
He fell off the rails quick.
Yeah.
It's like,
where am I? Yeah. One of the better jokes I thought that doesn't get a whole lot of airplay wasn't even about Tom Brady, was that Sam J, when she says that Tom Brady's Super Bowl rings like her vibrator, it's all for show. Or strap on or whatever. And it's just like, you can wear one, but it's still not real. And it's just like, oh my God. And Drew Bledsoe thought it was fantastic. But yeah, it was they had some, I wish, and it's not Bert and Tom's thing, but I thought theirs was okay. But
I think you got to understand what they were doing, because
you definitely had to understand what they were doing.
I feel like
I haven't seen any of theirs.
No.
Wrote their bit as though I bet you Tom presented it to Bert. He's like, hey, we're gonna do this like if you're presenting to a company and you're really bad at presenting.
Yes,
because it was like a presentation type thing. It wasn't necessarily like they got up there and just roasted him. But they did, and it was like slideshows and pictures of like him and shit, and it was fucking hilarious. And comparing him to serial killers.
Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, the only thing Hitler and Tom Brady had in common was that Hitler stuck with his wife to the end. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I thought that Andrew Schultz did a pretty good job. He's an underrated comedian that's starting to gain traction. But I thought he did a pretty good job. He had some good jokes, especially when he said that he understood why Dana White was there, because he could
teach all these people how to fuck a Brazilian out of half their base.
Yeah. And it's like, how did you take time from putting a bunch of you figured out a way to put immigrants behind cages and have them fight for money.
Yeah. And then they gave Dana White 60 seconds.
Yeah, and he wasn't the best. But
no,
he was
just straight up, I'm anti-trans.
It was just like...
I didn't see anything.
It was just basically right out the gate.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell a trans joke.
Yeah. His was kind of awkward. But yeah, I thought the Tom Brady... I still go back and watch some of Nikki Glazer's. I saw an interview with Andrew Schultz where he was talking about the roast, and they asked him, because he went on after Gronk.
Yeah.
And Gronk went completely off the rails and then smashed the shot glass on the fucking, he did the touchdown spike with the shot glass.
I seen the look in his eyes before he did it. And I'm he's about to slam this glass.
Yeah.
And then he did.
I did not see that.
And Andrew Schultz said, you should have seen the room, like from where we were sitting. Like Gronk got done and he smashed that glass, and it was like you looked out into the audience and it was utter like fear. Like it was like, what is going on? Like he said it took all the air out of the room. And then I was next and I was like, oh, this is not good for me at all. And he said, but thank God that Kevin Hart saw it too. Because he said Kevin Hart got up there and like made fun of Gronk for a little bit. Like, what the hell were you doing? Like, this is some crazy ass shit. And then kind of like let it sit for a minute and like said some stuff and then told some jokes, got the room back, got it clear, and then called to me. And he said, thank God that Kevin Hart saw it. And Kevin Hart's a professional, and Kevin Hart knows how to work a room. He said, because he said Gronk killed the room. And he said, and you're not talking, it's not a normal roast room. He killed 20,000 people. Like, it's an arena full of people. Like, he completely, like, lost everyone.
You hear a fucking cricket.
Yeah, and he's like, thank God that Kevin Hart noticed it and was able to work through it. And he said, that's the only reason my shit got over was because Kevin Hart, like, calmed it down and then, like, brought it back. And he said, he said, Kevin Hart saved my whole entire performance. He said, because if I would have went out there, like, right away and tried to do it, like, he said the crowd was gone. So, and I was like, wow, yeah. So,
I'm going to have to specifically go watch Gronk's set, because I'm curious as to what the...
Yeah.
He went off the rails, didn't follow the prompter.
Yeah.
Started making up shit off the cuff.
Yeah.
They went to... So, when he went to grab the shot glasses, he started to grab the ring they gave Tom Brady at the end. The case he had originally was a special ring they made for Tom Brady at the end of the roast to give.
Imagine if
and he's about to pull it out, and Kevin's like, "No, the shot glasses, Gronk." And he's like,
he's like grabbing it, and Kevin Hart's like, "No, what are you doing?"
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, and then the awkwardness. Because that's when they brought Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick up to do a shot together, and that was awkward as shit. And it was
There was
weird.
a couple awkward moments.
I don't know.
They could have honestly, like, bless Bill Belichick's heart, he tried, but he is a stale fish, man.
He is, but I'll tell you what, he
tried.
was better than Randy Moss. Randy Moss was terrible.
Yeah.
And Julian Edelman wasn't the best either.
He rode the homo thing
A little too far.
They gratuitous. Kevin Hart even called it out. That white boy humor where people make gay jokes about each other's dicks and stuff. And,
and
it's like, you guys gotta fucking chill. Because Kevin Hart's calling us out right now. I feel targeted for your guys' dumb shit.
He did. Kevin Hart totally called him out. That was hysterical.
Every time it happened, too, he's like, a little more of that white boy humor. And that was after Ben Affleck did his set because he made this dick-sucking joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can tell when people don't have much material.
Yeah.
Like, in their fucking...
Yeah, the Ben Affleck stuff, I actually was a little bit behind of the live, and I fast-forwarded through it. I didn't even watch him. Like, I watched, like, the first, like, two, like... He was on way too long.
Yeah.
I watched like the first maybe minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then was just like, I can't watch any of this.
He's back
it's
to being
terrible.
McNeil.
Yeah.
I hate that dick.
Yeah, it was awful. Speaking of Netflix and Kevin Hart, though, I did watch the Mark Twain ceremony.
Yeah, dude, Jeff Ross's fucking joke, though, when he's like, Kevin Hart, congratulations on getting inducted to the Mark Twain thing, and he was like congratulating him, and he's like, if Mark Twain was alive right now, he'd probably call you and then everybody's like looking at him, a national treasure. Yeah, because we all know Mark Twain.
know what he would have really done.
We know what Mark Twain wrote in his books, certainly Mr. Jim.
Yeah, I watched the Mark Twain Kevin Hart thing. It was very good. Jerry Seinfeld and Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock all come out. Chelsea Handler came out. They told a lot of jokes about like Kevin just being like Chris Rock was just like, how the hell did your scrawny little ass get up here with the So yeah, it was, but yeah, it's funny. It was good. And then the other Netflix thing, I guess I watched this yesterday too. But I watched part of it on the plane to Mexico a couple of weeks ago, so I finished it. Was Madam Web.
Oh, we were going to watch that one, but then it was like, let's just watch the rest of Tom Brady and get it out of the way.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I enjoyed it.
I think that was,
I get why people, if you went into, you cannot go into it thinking superhero movie.
Okay.
Like, you just can't. It's not really a superhero movie.
It's a drama.
Yeah, it's almost like a rom-com. It's like a little more dramatic rom-com with no rom.
So it's just comedy.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, there's no... I don't even know that it fits in a category.
So here's my only thing, and I understand what you're saying, but don't use Madam Web and all of the Spider-Man costumes. And then, like you said, and then expect people to go in and be like, don't expect it to be a superhero movie.
Well,
then you chose the wrong shit to be doing.
It is
Not necessarily.
It is, yeah. What it is it's its origin story. So you can't go into it thinking superhero because it's telling the story of how Madam Web becomes Madam Web with the Spider-Women.
Essentially, before there is a reason to overthrow Madam Web, because she does become an antagonist later
Iron
on.
Man 1, so still a superhero movie, because Iron Man 1 is him... It's an origin movie of him becoming Iron Man. He's not really a superhero until the end of it with his...
It's a non-action superhero movie.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of action in it.
So
there's not a whole lot of action in it. That's why I said more on the rom-com side.
Which I'm fine with. I'm just
there's jokes. There's sexy ladies.
Yes, and there's a sexual tension between Madam Web's character, who is Cassie, and Ben Parker.
It was really hard not to scream, Ben. I think we've been over. Have we talked about this before? From Star Wars, when Han Solo walks out and yells. I think my wife did it the last time. She cut
did.
Me off. Yeah,
she did. She yelled it before you did.
Yeah.
Ben!
I had to think. I called myself this time.
Ben! Yeah.
But Uncle Ben, you're gonna make a bowl of rice, huh?
Uncle Ben is Uncle Ben is in the movie. Mary Parker is in the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. Peter is born at the end of the movie.
No figure.
Oh, I wonder if that,
But the movie performed so poorly.
Yeah.
That they're not doing anything with it. But their main goal for the movie was to expand the Spider-Man franchise. Right. But it performed so poorly that obviously they're not going to do anymore.
If you're a true Spider-Man fan, you know how to enjoy all Spider-Man things while knowing that they don't all connect.
Yeah, I'm
just confused why it performed so poorly and why people can't understand what an origin movie is.
Well, no, I think it performed poorly because this was one of those movies that came out in a time where people were getting pissy about all the female changes and stuff, and female.
I didn't even think about
superheroes,
and
it's like
it was.
My brain is strictly thinking about that movie.
It was looked upon.
The internet cast it out when they started announcing the cast.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I was going to say, I paid no attention to it. Well, you guys know how I am. I don't fucking look at shit.
The internet and their little trolls, lambasted the movie as the only reason they were doing it was because it was a woman-led cast, and we don't want it, and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, but they're the same internet trolls that when a movie comes out and it's all a bunch of dudes, they're like, where are all the women at? You know, I mean, it's like,
why is it all white people?
Yeah, so it's just those people that just they thought they labeled it a cash grab, and whether or not it was or not, I don't think it was. I think that
there's a lot of people.
I think Sony stepped back and looked and said, okay, like, if we have Spider-Man, if we want to try to bring Spider-Man back, the only villains that we've created are men. And the only people, it's men-based.
They've been a part of the story for so long, too.
Let's try to interject Spider-Woman and Madam Web, and that way maybe we can do something with Spider-Man later down the road, because that gives some sort of female presence other than Aunt May. Excuse me.
Well, my thought process is also it's one that Marvel hasn't touched yet. Madam Web.
Right.
So it's like, why would that not call it? Like, I don't understand why it's a cash. Yeah, more. But from what I haven't watched the movie, but from what I understood, that movie was just a bad movie.
I'm not probably gonna watch that.
Morbius wasn't even. It was fine. Madam Web was fine. I thought Madam Web was better than Morbius.
But it's like, that is the perfect way to take their Spider-Man universe, is what I was getting at. Madam Web hasn't been touched by Marvel. Right. You can try to be the one to break that ground on something actually new for the comic book movies, and if you do it right, now either Marvel has to follow you, or you basically one for one your movie, or they can't touch it because they're going to get compared to you if you make a good movie.
Right, and Marvel can't touch it anyway because they don't own the rights to the Spider-Man franchise.
You know how Marvel is. They'll fucking work their way around and basically hit all over and grab that franchise.
And the other thing, when you look at it from a business standpoint, if Sony doesn't do a Spider-Man movie every so much, they lose the rights. You have to do something with the property every so often,
I didn't know how that
or
works.
you forfeit your rights. So that's what happened with the Incredible Hulk. That's why they. That's why they can have the Incredible Hulk, but they can't have the movies, because every once in a while, Fox releases something, and just to hold on to that rights for just a little bit longer. Now it doesn't matter because Disney owns Fox. But
but same concept.
But I think they've got to do, Kraven the Hunter is the next Spider-Man movie that's supposed to come out, but it's going to be hard R because he just slaughters people.
And I don't think hard R means what you think.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's going to be rated R.
It's going to be rated R, but it's going to be.
I was going to say, that's
it's more Deadpool and less it's going to be R for, you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, we know what you mean.
It just doesn't sound right. It's kind of like BDH.
Yes. And that's another one. If they do that movie well and people can quit fucking trying to compare it to Marvel.
I don't think it'll be done well.
You don't think? I don't know shit about. Go figure.
This is the problem. This is the problem that Sony has with their movies. I think it'll come out, and I think it'll be a fine movie, but I don't think it's going to jumpstart anything.
Man, we got enough. There's such a wide variety.
Because Marvel's already got Spider-Man.
Fix what's wrong.
Yeah, Sony just sell Spider-Man and his properties back. So just sell it to Marvel and let them do their thing. Quit trying to make movies.
Oh, no, Sony is.
Do you know how many people would shut the fuck up about Eternals if they just had a fight scene at the hand of that fucking thing coming out of the ground?
Right.
All they've got to do is show that fucking thing in another movie and people will be like,
yeah. Right.
So if you knock those fucking checklists and then write a good story with it, you can fix everything, and people would just be like, all right, I wonder what they're going to put out next.
Yeah. It'll be Marvel. The problem Marvel was having, and it doesn't fully solve what they're doing, but the problem Marvel was having was everybody was tired of the oversaturation of superheroes, and they're still doing their TV show stuff on Disney Plus, which I get. But the only movie they're releasing for the whole entire year is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was by plan because they wanted to slow down their saturation. The only problem is the other studios are still releasing fucking superhero movies. DC's still doing bad superhero movies. Sony's still doing bad superhero movies.
But I think that's the key.
So it's like even when Marvel comes out, everybody's like, "Oh, it's another superhero movie," because the other ones are so bad that it's just there's no. If Marvel could stop everybody from making their shitty superhero movies, I think they'd be okay.
The one thing I have seen is I think it's in the combination of they're making bad movies, the other studios. But then, besides for now, everyone has their own opinions. But there's a lot of their TV shows that didn't do well. People did not like them, did not enjoy them for whatever reason. And I think it's a mixture of the in some people's opinion, bad TV shows, and the other studios' bad movies. Well, if they slow down on bad TV shows, now it's just all the other studios, and you have Marvel and their shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of that would be my guess, is they're like, yeah, they're going to do what they do. We slow down our production and we guarantee you good shit every time.
I think
people will come
Marvel's going to come in hard with Deadpool and Wolverine, and it is not only going to be a fantastic movie, but it is going to reset everything.
I think the only downside would be not doing a movie towards the end, another kick-ass movie towards the end of the year, because what is that wait period from Deadpool and Wolverine all the way to the next movie? Now, people will be hyped when trailers start coming out, but you don't have that. There might be too long of a wait gap. I don't know, because obviously I don't know what the timeline is.
To be honest, we've had such a big gap already, and the last thing I
That
really
is true.
have, the last thing stuck in my mind from Marvel is Loki, and that was so fantastic that I've been able to be satisfied this long for, actually I'm not mad.
I was going to say, I guess you do have a point there. I didn't think of it in that way.
I have been focusing, I've had time to think about other things. I don't have that shit cluttering me up like, oh, I gotta go pitch this movie.
I'm going to stay in the loop.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm cool with that. Star Wars is slowing way the fuck down too, and I'm like,
but they also, like, what I wanted to talk about, which we talked about a little bit before the podcast, like, they dropped that Tales of the Empire without saying a fucking word.
Yeah.
It was just on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Granted, the episodes are only, I think the longest one is 18 minutes.
Well, then we got Acolyte coming out.
Yeah.
February. Okay. Deadpool and Wolverine come out in July.
So it's not even a full year.
And the next movie is Captain America Brave New World, which comes out in February and kicks off and is followed up by Thunderbolts.
I figured.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for Sam's Captain America. People did not like Falcon Winter Soldier, and
I loved Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It was slow, but I'm ready to see them.
I enjoyed it.
My thing, I
like their pairing.
Kind of like how I said with Fallout 4. It just felt like they introduced a lot of shit. And, like, they tried to get deep with Bucky. They tried to get deep with Sam's family life. You also have John Walker. Then they also introduced Val at the end talking. Yeah. Like, they had... And then you also
had... in everything since.
Yeah,
dude.
and then you also have the...
Yelena.
You had Yelena pop up. You had... what is the one that used the fucking mask?
Ghost?
No.
Taskmaster?
No. It's the organization that Sam was chasing down. The
red fucking dude.
It was the redheaded chick.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
That was they had so much in it that it just felt like they were just throwing
the actual next Marvel property.
Taskmaster.
Yes.
And then they also have the other guy. I can't think of the villain's name. But he wears the mask in
Oh,
believe,
they had Zemo.
not Zemo. Well,
Baron
Zemo's
Zemo's
in
in
it
it
too,
too,
but
yeah.
that's not who I'm talking about. Damn it. He wears a black fucking, like, tactical mask. He fought Captain America in
Bone
Civil
Crusher?
War. Bone Crusher, maybe?
Oh,
It's the one from Winter Soldier who was a part of his team that double.
yeah,
That was a part of Hydra.
he was in that again.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Jesus. See that, like, it went so wide and they tried to do so much.
Yeah.
It's basically the shamblings of
Where
Captain
Steve
America's-
leads it,
yeah,
right,
and
and I'm
Sam
not-
Wilson takes it.
I'm not
over.
saying it's bad. I'm just saying
But
it
it's
wasn't.
all of his Steve Rogers.
It just felt like for as short of the episode count as there was,
Right.
they tried to do way too much. Like, I say give them another 2 episodes, 3 episodes. Let's flesh out a little bit more of this. Flesh out a little bit
I think
more
it was
of that.
to show the chaos that
The-
Sam has to fucking wrangle.
I
July-
guess that could make sense.
So July
That's on purpose.
is Deadpool. I'm wrong. The next Marvel property, not movie, but property that comes out is in September. It's a TV show on Disney Plus, and I don't know how you didn't remember this. It's Agatha.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Catherine Henn, God love her.
Yeah, it's Agatha.
that'll be interesting.
So
She's
yeah,
that lady
it's the
that's like-
spin-off from WandaVision.
Just so good in so many roles. Like, not only
Oh,
is she,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
sometimes, like, oh my God, she's in this. And
Yeah.
then other times, I'm like, thank God she's in this.
The other, so there's Agatha all along, and then in November is the Spider-Man animated series, which they actually have as part of the universe. It's called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
That'll be
I
interesting.
will look forward to those.
And then they have,
I can't-
it looks like maybe a Wakanda-based TV show.
I can't imagine what the fuck we're going to get in Deadpool, though.
Eyes of Wakanda.
I have
It
steered
just
clear
says
of all
sometime in
trailers.
I have
24.
to.
No Wolverine
I watched the
trailer.
very first one where they.
None.
None.
I
I've watched
the
them
very,
both.
Yeah, I watched the very
any.
first one where you didn't see. All you saw was the shadow of him.
I've seen pictures of them. I've seen those leaked fucking set images because it's like there is so much stuff that comes across my feed as Wolverine. So I'm not gonna.
I really,
not see
because
it.
this is a part of the leaked photos, so I know you've seen it. I really hope that there is a scene where they're fighting on the 20th Century Fox logo. Because it's
yeah.
leaked photos up. Well, I'm
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
obviously they
Yeah.
filmed it. I hope they didn't cut any of that.
Yeah.
Because that just sounds like it's going to be fucking hilarious.
Supposedly they were doing reshoots. I don't know what for, but supposedly they were doing reshoots.
Reshoots. I think they reshot some of the scenes that were leaked photos as to change.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a fuck you to
Right.
things, and
Yeah.
so you're
I
going
can
to
see
see
that.
something.
And this is going to sound dumb, but the thing I'm really curious to see is if Taylor Swift is actually cameoing in it.
Yeah, he wants her to be Dazzler.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
He wants Taylor.
'Cause
Yeah, Ryan
Taylor-
Reynolds wanted Taylor Swift to be
Ryan
Dazzler.
Reynolds' wife
Dude.
and Taylor Swift are apparently
Oh,
great
they're
friends.
really good
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, he wanted to bring her in and do a cameo and have
That
her
would
be
be
Dazzler.
fan fucking tastic.
I've also heard.
Because it also piss a lot of people off. And that's-
Well,
the-
I've also
yeah.
heard that they are.
He's just mad at a billionaire blonde. Like,
Yeah, they're.
It's-
When they
Yeah.
jump through one of the and this would be bonkers if they actually pulled this off. They jump through one of the Doctor Strange portals or whatever.
Yeah.
They jump through and they land, and it's Ben Affleck's Batman.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh fuck.
That would be fucking hilarious.
And they're like, "Wait a minute, hold on!" And then they like jump back through the portal or whatever.
Or it would be absolutely best if they did it and it's Ben Affleck's Batman fighting Deathstroke.
Oh,
Like you gotta have.
that would be good.
Hi,
Yeah.
Slade.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's your name? Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
Mine's Wade Wilson.
Yeah. Well, they've had comics together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I think that would work. Right. Yeah.
That'd be fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
that would be funny.
Uh,
So, what are we at time-wise?
About an hour and 10.
Oh, shit.
Wrap
Okay.
her up.
Yeah.
The one thing,
Yeah.
because I did want to talk about it,
Okay.
I definitely watched Tales of the Empire, because
Yeah.
watching Ahsoka, The first 3 episodes are about Morgan Elsbeth and her life growing up.
Oh, really?
That's interesting.
Okay.
So you see, one is her as a child when she's still on Dathomir.
Ooh.
Because she is a Night Sister. Or, right?
Yeah.
The next one is after what's happened in the first... I don't want to spoil anything, but after what's happened in the first episode. And then third episode... Like, it follows, but there's time jumps in it.
Okay.
And then the second set, you would understand this. You haven't seen the animated Clone Wars.
Right.
The second 3 episodes is Barriss Offrey.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with her in prison right as Order 66 happens. So
shit.
She's in her prison cell, and she hears the explosion, looks out her small window, and sees the Jedi Temple on fire and exploding. Or explosions happening outside of it. And she's calling for the guards, and all of a sudden, Lynn comes around the corner in an Inquisitor outfit. And she's like, alright, I'll give you an offer. You can either come help us, or you're going to live in this prison cell, because the Jedi betrayed the Chancellor, and so now we're going to go hunt Jedi. And then the next scene after that is her and 2 other previous Jedis that got put in prison, being trained by the Grand Inquisitor. And then you see how she takes the Grand Inquisitor, how she takes the Inquisitor training, like what her thought process is and what she has to go through for that. And then the next 2 episodes follow that storyline. And there's time jumps in those ones too.
Is there any link to Asajj in any way? Give us what the fuck she's doing.
No, we haven't seen Asajj Ventress.
Because she popped up in Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And was helpful.
But
Question mark?
My thing was because, and this is slight spoiler, but it's not really because I don't know how many other people would make this connection. When Barriss put on the Inquisitor helmet and talked through the voice modulator, it sounded like the 5th sister. So I was like, is this going to be the origin story for the 5th sister from Ahsoka? And then shit happens. I won't say what happens, but shit happens.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it then.
I killed it in 2 hours.
I thought
there's not
the Jedi was non-canon though, like a what if Marvel what if kind of thing.
No, Tales of the Jedi is canon.
It tells you because I know there was the whole Qui-Gon Dooku stuff. I enjoyed watching that.
No, I believe Tales of the Jedi is canon. Visions and Visions 2 is not canon.
Yeah, because that's like anime.
Yeah, it's anime what ifs.
Well, yeah.
So they did it all in Japanese anime art style.
All right.
But yeah, I definitely suggest watching those because they were really good.
Okay.
And they give you, because you watched Ahsoka, the first 3 episodes give you backstory on Morgan Elsbeth.
And I've watched everything.
Yeah, and you've seen everything.
All of it.
So
all of it. I don't think there is anything I haven't seen.
Including
the holiday special. I've seen the holiday special.
Have you seen?
The Wookiee, the cartoon with the
there's
goddamn
one
Ewoks.
Have you seen Resistance?
Yes.
Alright.
The more
That was
geared
one
for kids.
Yeah.
Yes, I've watched that one.
I was gonna say I've watched it, but I was randomly just trying to find something to watch at work. Scrolled through it, I was like, I could see this shit.
You could probably find something I haven't seen. I haven't seen all of Visions because it's hard for me to watch those ones.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
I know Nate loves them, and they're cool, they're beautiful, but sometimes there's a couple of them I do like, but some of them are like, what am I watching? You know, it's so far from it that I'm like, this doesn't feel right. But, yeah, I don't know. I do know that I have to take a wicked fucking whiz right now.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up then. So this has been Pints and Pages, and we've had just a random conversation pretty much this whole
from wrestling to Star Wars.
Yeah, so I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And we'll see you next time.